Hello everyone. Cheppandi Cheppudalsuledu Kadu. That means how you people. Hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. And good morning everyone. My name is Shubham Sagar, and today we have to do Hindu analysis of 19th September 2025. Right? Hope I'm audible. And I can hear myself. Cool, sir. So let's start Hindu analysis 19th September 2025. And my name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Cool, sir. Yesterday, as we do every day, we take 11 questions as classwork and 2 questions as homework. So this was MCQ 12, and this was a homework for you people. And again, a tricky question, a good question. Not that tricky, good question. So what is the answer of this particular question? Anybody? Do you have any idea? Which of the following correctly link India's interest with Iran nuclear crisis? Yesterday we did an editorial, you know, where Shayyad Akbaruddin sir, he said certain stuff. Good morning, Gajanan. And that was an awesome editorial which we have talked about. And there we have discussed this whole thing. Iran nuclear interest. We have talked about a nuclear power plant in Europe, which was a very big nuclear power plant. All these stuff we had discussed. So what is the answer of this particular question? Again, you can do option elimination here to arrive at the answer. Good morning, Mamta. So yes, sir. What is the answer, sir? Anyone? I will give you 10 seconds and then I will tell you the answer. Ensuring the safety of 8 million Indian citizens, and people who have not watched yesterday's Hindu analysis, you can watch it and you will understand more. This was an awesome editorial, very tricky one. So ensuring the safety of 8 million Indian citizens in West Asia, protecting uninterrupted flow of oil and through State of Hormuz, providing direct military support to IAEA in Iran. So good morning, Rajneesh. So see this thing, direct military support. Have we talked about this thing yesterday? We were talking about we being an intermediary, and there will be a nuclear power plant in Maharashtra, Tarapur, which will act as an intermediary between, Iran, IAEA, and we will be acting as an intermediary via Tarapur. How? We have discussed this. No direct military support, bro. This is just too extreme. So eliminate C and D option. You're left with A and B option. Second is yes, oil flow is a concern for us. Oil is a concern for us, and safety of our West Asian diaspora is a concern for us. So B is the answer as stated by Shri Purna. Shri Purna is a good girl. Next question. Consider the following statement regarding Lingayat and Veer Shaiva. Again, we have talked about what is happening in Karnataka, the caste census thing. They want means not all of them, but many of them want us. Again, you can have a look at this particular question. If I tell you, good morning, Shri Purna, if I tell you the answer right now. So again, what was the point? See, and again, you can eliminate those options which looks very extreme. Lingayatism is entirely separate from Hinduism according to all its followers. Is it? Currently, they are part of Hinduism only. They are, and not all of them are talking about having a separate religion. Some portion of Lingayas, they are talking about separate religion. So not all its follower. If you eliminate one, you will get the answer, and the answer is B. So again, Shipuna has given the answer. B is the answer, Gajanan. This particular question, it's not all its followers. Not all of them want separate religion. And right now, they all are part of Hinduism only. That's what we have discussed yesterday. So the answer is B, 2 and 3 only. So do revise. Yesterday's, Hindu analysis. So both answers are B, 12 and 13. So let's come back to the presents. Let's talk about today's article, first article, page number 10, editorial. India needs more focus to reach SDG 3. Anybody has any idea what SDG 3 is all about? So we have total 17 SDGs, which has to be achieved by 2030. Earlier we had MDGs, Millennium Development Goals, which was not that successful. So here again, this particular article is awesome article. Like, what is SDG 3? It focuses on. See, there is a, if you people can tell it in the comment section, otherwise I will tell you. So there is an SDG report which came in 2025 this year. India's ranking is 99. As you can see here, we'll have a look at this whole thing. We'll have a discussion. Sustainable Development Goals is SDGs, but SDG 3 is about health. You have 17 SDGs. If you have a look at this, you have 17 SDGs, and these 17 SDGs, you have to remember it, or remember them rather. Very important. The number of questions which has been asked in different exams on these 17 SDGs are huge. This particular editorial is focusing on SDG 3. And they will talk about what India needs to do to achieve SDG 3. Please, sir and ma'am, how many of you remember these SDGs? Anyone? Do you remember these SDGs? Or you feel like, no, sir, we have not gone through it, you have to remember there are some cheat codes like SDG 5, SDG 10, 5 into 2, 10. And you see both of them are dealing with equality only, 5 and 10. One is gender equality, other is other forms of equalities or inequalities rather. So SDG 5, SDG 10, they are related to a certain extent. These are important SDG. You can cite them in your mains answer, and in many MCQ related exam they have been asked explicitly, so they're very important and we should be and you should be remembering them. Cool. So now let's focus on this article in general, and then we'll talk about certain stuff. So India's rank is 99 out of 167 in SDG report. Who publishes this SDG report? SDSN. SDSN is sustainable development. No, I'm not gone through. You people have to. You people have to paste it on your wall, and you have to remember them. SDG SN is what? It's a non-profit organization established by UN in 2012, and they publish reports on what we need to do to achieve these sustainable development goals, which are different sectors. So that is the basic talk about. So India's rank 99 out of 167 nations, which is best. You may feel like, oh my god, we are topping from the bottom, this and that. We are not exactly topping from the bottom, we are in the mid, and this is our best position up until now. So we are doing good, but the way we are going in health sector, the author is saying that, and this will give you a lot of fodder for health. And why health is important? Because GS means paper 2. In GS means paper 2 you have health, so that's why this particular topic is important. So SDG 3 health, and according to this author we are doing good. We have gained access to, and we are gaining in certain aspects, but we will not achieve most of the targets. What we have just discussed, SDGs, there are 17 SDGs, 169 targets. There are some SDGs which are very important, like more important than others. SDG 3 is one of them. See here, again, there are certain keywords in this editorial: maternal mortality rate. And they are giving these 5 indicators, and they are saying that India is not on track for most of these targets. Now, from exam perspective, what is important for us? Maternal mortality rate. What is the meaning here? How many mothers are dying? How many mothers are dying per 1,000 live births? So currently in India, it is 97. The target is 70. We have to reach 70. So again, we are ahead of, means like our maternal mortality rate is more than the target. Under 5 mortality, how many children under 5 are dying when 1,000 live births are happening? 32. Target is 25. Developed countries are at 2 to 6. You see how much discrepancy is there between developed countries and India. Good morning, Jivayan. When you're talking about these facts and figures, life expectancy, India 70 years, and the target is 73. Out of pocket expenditure. So let's say I suffered from cancer and I did not have insurance, then I'm spending from my pocket. How much I'm spending? So if I'm spending 100 rupees, almost 13 rupees is coming from my pocket. 87 rupees is, let's say, some insurance, this and that. The target is, this out of pocket expenditure has to be reduced to 7%, not 13%. So these are the areas. Immunization coverage, not all of us or all of the child in India, they are covered under different vaccinations. It is 93% approximately. Target is 100%. So these are some facts and figures which, oh god, my god. Guys, am I okay? Okay, a little bit of buffering was there earlier. Can people hear me? Can I continue? Oh, man. Crystal clear. Okay. So yes, sir, what we were discussing. Hope you understood. These facts and figures you have to use in your mains answer, because when you're using, writing these points, and GS mains paper to health, you can put these points, whatever this editorial is talking about, plus the points and voice. Okay, sir. Video is lagging. Okay. And I hate it. Cool, cool, cool. So reasons for gap. So why these things are happening? Why there is gap? Why targets under SDG 3 health? What author is talking about? See, poor infrastructure. We don't have proper, hospitals. Non-economic factors. Poor nutrition. We focus on chow mao, chow mein and all. We are not focusing on protein. More protein intake and all. more carbohydrate, more fats we are taking. We're not saying carbohydrates and all those things are bad. We're just saying that the nutrition factor is lagging. Cultural practices, women will be eating at the last. They're eating at the last, and they're eating the leftovers. They're not eating enough. That is leading to anemia and all stuff. So these are some reasons for gap. What we can do, like propose three-pronged approach if you want to achieve SDG 3 and its different targets by 2030. So first thing first, universal health insurance. Provide health insurance to everyone. Doesn't matter which strata it belongs to, and it doesn't matter, it's not like PM Jai, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, Ayushman Bharat, and poorest of the poor people are getting health insurance. No, everybody should be getting health insurance. That's what the author is talking about in universal health insurance. Strengthening primary health center. We keep on talking about these terms, PHCs, primary health center, secondary health center, tertiary health center. What do these mean? Yeah, primary care or secondary care, tertiary care. What do these words actually mean? So primary care is first point of contact. You know, let's say GYN, her nose is filled with ghee, butter. So she will go to the first hospital or first care, primary care, or first health care she's visiting. That is primary care. So let's say she is in Karnataka. She went to a hospital there, first hospital where she was suffering or her nose was filled with butter or ghee. So they will refer her to, let's say, Kolkata. So that is secondary care. If Kolkata AIMS is referring her to Delhi AIMS, so that is tertiary care. They're saying that the first point of contact, the healthcare first point of contact, strengthened it. That will lead to early disease detection and all those stuff. So please remember the basic meaning. What is primary, secondary, and tertiary care? School level health education. Teach people about reproductive health and all, sex education. It's a taboo in our country. Teach people, students, about cardiovascular diseases. Don't eat pani puri and all those stuff. Take care of hygiene and all. So there should be a focus on health education. And you may feel like, why we are talking about health education, blah blah blah. It has led to a lot, like many countries, just because they focus on health education, they're doing very well when it comes to SDG 3. And this is, you should be remembering it. This is your homework for today. Remember these SDGs, at least paste it on your wall. Very very important from exam perspective. Cool, sir. So where were we? Let's focus. So international example, Finland, Japan. See, they focused on school-based reforms. If you're teaching kids that please don't eat this, focus on protein, they will be coming home and they will be telling their parents that, bro, do these things, have a better hygiene, wash your hands. You may feel like these are small things, but this matters in the long run. That's what the author is talking about. India's improved SDG ranking is awesome, but we still need to do a lot of stuff. And again, you can have a look at this. Hope you understood the basic rationale which is involved in this particular article and what is important. Let's solve some question now. MCQ 1. So consider the following statement about India's SDG index ranking. So India is ranked 99th in 2025 SDG index. India has achieved universal immunization coverage of 100%. Maternal mortality rate. Again, this is a good question. We have just seen facts and figures. 5 facts we have seen in the editorial where they were talking about why we will not be able to achieve many of the targets of SDG 3. And there we have talked about these things. So even if you're getting this particular question wrong, don't worry about it. So Shipurna, Mamta, GY, and Rajneesh, they have given the answer. India has ranked, and what we know for sure is wrong. Second, we know for sure is wrong, right? So just eliminate second, and you'll get the answer 1 and 3. We have achieved immunization of around 93%, not 100%. So second is gone, and you're left with C answer as stated by Purna, Mamta, Jivayan, and Rajneesh. Very good. MCQ 2. Which of the following is a key reason for India not meeting certain SDG 3 targets? Poor nutrition and hygiene, cultural practices and stigma around health, lack of access to quality healthcare, all of the above. Please, sir and ma'am, I cannot stress enough. Remember all 17 SDGs at the earliest. You can use them in your mains answer. You can multiple pre-questions have been framed on them in different exams at the earliest. Paste that particular image on your wall and look at it like you look at the picture of Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Salma Hayek, Monica Bellucci. Okay, let's not go there. So hope what is the answer, bro? So all of the above, man. Poor nutrition, cultural practices, lack of access to quality healthcare, all of the above. And as stated by Shripurna, Jivayan, Gajanan, Mamta, and Rajneesh. Very good. Next article. Page number 1. Attack on one of us is an attack on both, says Saudi Arabia Pakistan pact. This was in news yesterday a lot, you know. And India was like, we are closely looking at it. But it's not targeted at India. It's targeted at Israel. Let's try to understand this whole issue, what this issue is all about. Saudi Arabia and Pakistan pact, we have talked about this, that Israel has attacked Qatar. And it was surprising, Israel attacking Palestinians and Hamas and all, that's fine. And even Saudi Arabia and all, it's fine. Qatar is very unheard of. Why? Because Qatar was acting as we have discussed multiple number of times now, it was acting as a mediator between Hamas and Israel. It has the largest military base of US in West Asia. So attacking Qatar is escalating matter too far. Now Pakistan is a nuclear armed state, right? Nuclear armed state. And it's believed that when Pakistan was making these, and Saudi Arabia, it is believed they do not have nuclear weapons. So can I follow these classes for group, any exam, Parul? You can follow it for any exam. So what we are discussing here is that Saudi Arabia, they don't have nuclear weapon. Pakistan has nuclear weapon. Israel, do they have nuclear weapon or not? Explicitly, they have not said they have nuclear weapon, but implicitly we know they have it. Iran, they are again, you know enriching uranium, and we know why they're doing it, again for the nuclear facility. We have talked about it. There's a very high probability they also have nuclear weapons now. So Saudi Arab, they don't have nuclear weapon, so their friend is Pakistan, they are doing this pact. So this is not about, if India attacks Pakistan, Saudi Arabia will attack us. Maybe they will, but this is more about Israel. Israel has attacked Qatar now. Israel, Saudi Arab, they had fought wars earlier. If they fight war again, Pakistan will help Saudi Arab. So this whole thing is more about Israel per se than India per se. But again, we have to look into it because Pakistan is not our friend, to put it in simple terms, and that's why we are very very cautious about what is going on here and what they are actually talking about, right? So Saudi Arab defense pact signed, Saudi Arab nuclear armed, Pakistan signed. Saudi Arab, they don't have nuclear weapons, but they helped Pakistan when they were making nuclear weapons. The pact declares that, and here again, there will be certain conceptual things which you have to understand. Many people mug this up. So, what is this whole thing? Attack on one will be considered attack on both. It's like NATO. We'll talk about NATO in detail later on, also in later subsequent Hindu analysis. Western European countries, US, attack on one, attack on all of them. So, agreement follows Israel's strike on Qatar. Israel and these Arab countries, here there will be a term, Gulf Cooperation Council. We'll focus on that. UPSC PYQ has been framed on Gulf Cooperation Council. So Israel's strike on Qatar has led to this whole thing, this whole pact, because Saudi Arabia is worried. The timing is seen as warning to Israel. This has again nothing to do with India. We cannot say nothing to do with India, but you can understand this is more a warning for Israel, West Asia's only nuclear armed state. Because Iran, we are not sure. Israel, everybody knows it, although they don't explicitly say it. We know they have nuclear weapon. Iran, they were doing it. They were trying to make it. God knows whether they have made it or not. And that's why yesterday's editorial by Shayyad Akbaruddin sir was there. Friends, we are here. Okay. Yes, that will happen, GY, thank you for that. So what we are discussing here, nuclear umbrella speculation. Analysts and Pakistani diplomats have long suggested that Saudi Arab could come under Pakistan's nuclear protection. So it's, many people are like, when Saudi Arab Pakistan thing is happening, Saudi Arab will be helping Pakistan. It can be vice versa also. For us Indians, there has been media channel, news channel, which has portrayed a picture that Pakistan is bankrupt, this and that. Yes, they are not very financially well off, but that did not, oh my god, does not discard the fact that they have nuclear weapons, and via that they can help Saudi Arab. It's always quid pro quo. When you talk about international relation, it's always quid pro quo. What is quid pro quo? That means I will do something for you, in return you have to do something for me. Saudi Arab, they helped financially Pakistan during making of these nuclear weapons. In return, Pakistan will have to help them if Israel attacks them. So that is the basic rationale which is involved here. So hope you're understanding where we are going with this statement. Official statement from both countries emphasize strengthening defense cooperation and deterrence. Cool. Saudi hint at nuclear cover, and again they are saying that that's what they're discussing, that Pakistan's nuclear protection might be part of the deal. Historic defense ties. Now here we have to understand certain terms. and we have to understand why things are like this particular, like things are the way they are, why they are like this. So Pakistan and Saudi Arab, how they have mutual ties. Again, they are both Sunni countries, Sunni denomination. And why Pakistan and Saudi Arab, they don't like Iran? Shia. Shia country, Shia majority. But that is not the only reason. There are other factors involved also, which we need to understand to gain a conceptual clarity here. So what is the other fact? Pakistan troops sent to protect holy sites in Makkah, Medina. Post 1979 expansion. In previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about Iran. How in 1950s, Iran had an oil company which was British in nature. Most of the money from oil was going to Britain, so they nationalized oil. This we have discussed when we were talking about Iran. They nationalized oil in 1950s. Then what happened? Western countries, Europe means Britain, even US, they did they removed that ruler who was nationalizing oil and all, and they installed a puppet ruler in Iran. And then in 1979, Iranian revolution happened, which removed monarchy. There was a republic which was established, and this 1979 revolution was anti-monarchy and anti-West, anti-monarchy. This is the term which you have to keep in mind. Why Iran and Saudi Arab is not are not good friends or are arch enemies. Shia Sunni aspect is one aspect. Oh my God! Again, I'm stuck. I don't like this stuck part. Guys, I'm cool. Am I okay? Can I continue? Okay, cool. So I'm very sorry, guys. So, but again, what can we do regarding that? So, what we were discussing, 1979 revolution, Iranian revolution was anti-monarchy, anti-West, established a republic, but people argue that it was dictatorship only. But yes, anti-monarchy. On the other hand, Saudi Arabia and all these Gulf countries. We'll talk about these Gulf countries. These countries, they are mostly, they have monarchy, man. So they were afraid of this anti-monarchy stance of Iran. Plus, Shia Sunni element was always there, and that's why you can see here the Pakistan Saudi Arab ties, why they deepened. Sunni element is one element. The other element is Iran, Shia country, Iran anti-monarchy, and then Saudi Arab, they have monarchy. So all these factors led to confrontation. Saudi Arab is the leader of Sunni world, Iran is the leader of Shia world, all these factors. Qatar is peninsular country, yes it is. We'll see. So financial role in Pakistan's nuclear program we have just discussed. Saudi Arab supported, financial support. And scholar reference, there was a book written, Eating Grass, and there they talked about Saudi funding sustain Pakistan's nuclear program. Now, here there's a word, Gulf countries. First significance defense agreement by a Gulf Arab state after Israel's attack on Qatar. Now you have to understand these Gulf states. You have to understand this Gulf Cooperation Council. Established in 1981, headquarter is Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia. You can see this thing, 1981, 2 years after 1979 Iranian revolution, right? So what is happening here? Why this thing was formed? Again, to counter Iran and to promote their growth and development. Now see, Gulf countries. What are those Gulf countries which are bordering Persian Gulf? So ideally, Iraq is also bordering Persian Gulf, but it is not a part of Gulf Cooperation Council. So there are 6 countries which are part of Gulf Cooperation Council. You can see here: Saudi Arab, Kuwait, Bahrain, then you have Qatar, then you have Oman, and then you have UAE. So these 6 countries, they are part of Gulf Cooperation Council. Keep it in mind. Iraq, they border Persian Gulf, but they are not part of Gulf Cooperation Council. And this is mainly for promotion of economic development, blah blah blah. This they talk about, but this is also to counter Iran. So that is also one objective of this particular Gulf Cooperation Council. So keep these facts in mind. They are very, very important facts. Cool. And let's solve some questions so that we can remember stuff. MCQ 3 based on previous article. So hope you understood this. This Saudi Arab Pakistan thing is more about Israel or tackling Israel rather than tackling India per se. But again, we have to wait and watch. So SDG 3 aims to do what? And fast, sir and ma'am, we have just discussed a whole editorial on SDG 3. Right, so SDG 3 is about health, right? It's not sustainable economic growth, equality, and ensure equitable and equality education. Now this is your homework. Find out which SDGs talks about. So B is the answer, as stated by Gajanan, Jivayan, Shipurna, and Rajneesh. Find out this A dealing with which SDG, C dealing with which SDG, and again D dealing with which SDG, and that's how you do revision. So the answer is B. You have to also delineate the option. One of the strategic signals of Saudi-Pakistan pact is directed towards what? Very good. Gajanan, Jivayan, Shipurna, and Rajneesh. Iran, Israel, India, United States. Choose the best possible option. Best possible option. So Purna, Rajneesh, Jivayan, and Gajanan, they have given the answer. So one of the strategic signals of Saudi-Pakistan pact is directed towards not India but Israel. And we have discussed why Israel Qatar thing. PYQ 5 asked by UPSC in 2016. Which of the following is not a member of GCC? Jivan has given the answer. Here you can do option elimination, you know, because it's tough. We have just discussed 6 countries of GCC, and you will take time to remember them. But we know what is the basic purpose. Economic development, this and that is fine, but they are mainly developed, they are there mainly to counter one particular country. So how can that particular country be part of GCC, right? So Iran is not a member of GCC. So the answer is A, as stated by Jivan, Purna, Gajanan, Rajneesh, Manta. Very good. And again, like, share, and subscribe. I will talk about all these things at the end. Let's focus on the third article of the day. So, third article of the day, why are Maharashtra's onion farmer protesting? So, here again, there will be certain keywords which will be involved. And we have to focus on those keywords, and they are very important from exam perspective. So, like cooperatives. You may have heard about cooperatives. If you know it, tell me what is the basic meaning of cooperatives. An SHG. SHG, self-help group, explicitly mentioned in your GS mains paper 2. So what are cooperatives? What are SHGs? Most of the people, they don't try to remember, and they don't try to focus on the conceptual part. They will just mug up the definition of post it in the comment section. I will tell you each and everything. So what this article is all about, this Maharashtra's onion farmer protest, this whole article is again these people, the farmers. Maharashtra is the largest onion producing state in India. So this is a factual information important from other exam perspective. UPSC has never asked these kind of questions. Hopefully they will not ask again, but important. They can ask you which is the largest onion producing state in India, because Maharashtra is in news. Maharashtra farmers, they're not getting enough money, and you see, you can see here their production cost is 2200 to 2500 per quintal. In one quintal you have 100 kg. You may feel like, sir, what are you saying? These things we already know it. You may know it, but most of the people, they don't know it. Okay, that will happen. Oh, you people have become my at, you know. Okay, so quintal 100 kg. So production cost is 2200 to 2500 per quintal, and they are selling it at 800 to 1000. There's a disparity here, and that's why they are protesting. And the protest is known as phone protest. What is this so-called phone protest? What is the basic meaning of this so-called phone protest? You know what is happening in this particular phone protest? So phone protest is like, there was a Bhojpuri song in our time, missed call mara taru kis debu ka ho. That means you're giving me a missed call. So what is the intention of yours? Oh my god, it's so stupid. So here they're calling on different government numbers, and they're telling this is phone protest. Please understand these terms, and these terms are actually tricky. You know, many people, they may or may not know about these particular terms. So phone protest. They are calling different government agencies and they are talking about increase in price, seeking 1500 per quintal as aid from government. Why 1500 per quintal? Because see what is happening. They are selling at 800,000 per quintal, approximately 8 per kg, 8 to 10 per kg. Their cost was 22 to 25 per kg. They just want to maintain parity. At least even if they're not having profit, they should not have loss, right? At least it should be even. And that's why the remaining 1500 they're asking from government that please give us. There has been a price crash. And this is a common phenomena associated with something known as cobweb phenomena. You may have read about this particular cobweb phenomena earlier. So, and cobweb phenomena. What is cobweb phenomena? Anybody have you heard about cobweb phenomena? If you have, you can post it in the comment section. So, cobweb phenomena means what? Let's say the price of something rises. So price of something rises, production will be increased. Because production has increased, price will fall. Then again, they will decrease the production, again the price will rise. So this is the cobweb phenomena. Same thing has happened here with onion. Excess production happened, price has crashed. Now there's another question for you people. And okay, so hope you understood the basic rationale behind what is cobweb phenomena. What we were discussing, I forgot. So it's a cyclical pattern. The prices are high, so farmers will increase production, then the prices will crash, farmers will decrease production, then again the prices will rise. So cobweb phenomena. Then there's another question for me. Tell me, onion, is it a Rabi crop or is it a Kharif crop? Rabi or Kharif? If you know it, post it in the comment section. Again, a very conceptual article this is. There are so many economic terms, there are so many other terms which are important from exam perspective. When I tell you people about Rabi and Kharif crops, we have solved multiple PYQs on Rabi and Kharif crops. I keep on telling you the mnemonic. What is the mnemonic for Kharif crop and Rabi crop? See, understand one thing. Onion, they are neither Rabi, they are neither Kharif. Onion is both. It can be grown in both Kharif season and Rabi season. But 60% of onion in India is grown in Rabi season. And that's why they have said deterioration of stored Rabi onions, because they have been grown in Rabi, both Rabi and Kharif, as Purna stated. So please keep it in mind. These facts are important. So government release of buffer stock. So deterioration happened, government release buffer stock at cheaper rates, and that also depressed prices. Multiple factors are playing a role here. And I just asked you people, Kharif and Rabi mnemonic, which you have to remember. What is the mnemonic, bros? Bros, Kharif crop, Obama ki. Please don't forget these stuff. Tu jori. Pay attention to the capital letters here. Cotton, bajra, maize, tur, jowar, rice. And Rabi crops, wheat, bar, gram. Again, pay attention to the capital letters here. Wheat, barley, gram, rapeseed, and mustard. So these are some facts which we should know. Let's focus. So now there are different terms. NCCF and NAFED. These are cooperatives. Now, what are cooperatives? Large number of people coming together for a common purpose, and they're formal in nature. Like you have Amul, that is a cooperative. But that is what even an SHG is. Self-help group is also people coming together for a common purpose, like Kudumbashri in Kerala. And that's why I ask you people, you should know the basic difference between these terms. What is the basic difference between cooperatives and SHGs? I asked you, but none of you stated that. You did not tell me what is the basic difference here. Onion grow all the time, but mostly in Rabi. Very good, Jivayan. So these cooperatives, they are generally larger groups. They are formal groups established via acts. SHGs are smaller groups, generally female-based groups, and they are non-formal in nature. Very small groups, non-formal. That's what separates cooperatives from SHGs. Please remember these things. They are very, very important. These terms are important. So NCCF and NAFED, they both are cooperatives. Now NCCF is a cooperative from consumer side. Let me write somewhere else and let me show you something. You don't have to do PhD in these terms. You have to understand. We'll come back to these terms. You have to understand NCCF, National Cooperative Consumer Federation. Focus here, consumer. So they are mainly interested in the distribution side. We consumer, what price we are getting. So they distribute and market consumer goods. When it comes to procurement, procuring these onions from farmers, you have NAFED, National Agricultural Cooperative Marketing Federation. So NAFED is dealing from farmers side, and NCCF is dealing from consumer side. Hope you're understanding the basic difference here. NCCF is more focused on the distribution part and the selling price part, and NAFED is more focused on the procurement part, and they both are cooperatives. And again, hope you understood the basic difference between cooperatives and SHGs. Purna, Jivayan, Gajanan and others, did you people understand the basic difference between cooperatives and, oh my god, what we just discussed, bro, cooperatives and SHGs? Now let's come back to the article. You can see how many terms are there in this article, man. And that's why I keep on telling you this is important. So NCCF, NAFE. NCCF dealing from consumer side, NAFE dealing from procurement side. And their aim is to keep a stabilizing price, and so that even like none of them are getting impacted. Consumers, they are getting price at a certain level. Farmers, they are also not doing de-stress selling. So under that, you have this price stabilization fund which government introduced around 2015. What they are ensuring, they are ensuring that the price is at a certain level so that neither consumers nor farmers are distressed. It stocks released during high prices, lean supply, so they follow the cyclical pattern. If the prices are dropping, they ensure farmers get their adequate price, blah blah blah. So that is price stabilization fund. Cooperative is a group of people with the same work in Karnataka. Nandini is an example of Indian Amul. Very good, yeah. Very good, Jivayan. So let's focus. Price Stabilization Fund maintained by Department of Consumer Affairs. So Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Department of Consumer Affairs, they maintain this price stabilization fund. Oh my god, this article is very dense, man. See how many terms, how many things we have just discussed. So now export situation. We are talking about export in general and what are the things which are plaguing export sector in general. So see this, onion exports fell sharply. If you remember, in previous Hindu analysis, we have talked about cotton, and what we have talked about this fluctuation in government policy. Sometimes they will, impose import duty. Sometimes they will not impose import duty because sometimes they will want to produce means protect their domestic consumer. Blah blah blah. They will want less export to happen. All these things because of fluctuation in their policies. Our importers, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, they earlier used to buy a lot of onion from us. Now they have reduced purchases because our means policy flip flop, and whether we want to export onion to outside countries or not, because we have our own domestic consumption. Because of all these factors, our export has also reduced. So you can see distress, you know, multiplying many-fold. And that is what the author is saying. China and Pakistan, they have captured India's lost export market to Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. But China and Pakistan, they are enemy countries. We cannot rely on them, right? So yeah, farmers exporting. So here again, the author is saying that let's have a uniform export policy. If you're exporting to, let's say, Sri Lanka, and if you have promised them that you will export, let's say, 1,000 quintals or this and that, do that, bro. Be on your words and don't fluctuate so much. But this is easier said than done. We also have to look into our domestic consumers. If there is a supply of onion for them, how can we means export to Sri Lanka? So it's not easy. We can talk about all these things, but it's tough. And economy is tough. There is no right and wrong here. Build trust with importers, whole discussion with key buyers. State level. Now, here author is saying that Maharashtra, there this whole phone protest is going on. Maharashtra can learn from Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh, what they have done is they are procuring onions at 1,200 per quintal, as a base support price. So they are saying that okay, we will give you 1,200 rupees per quintal, and neither 800 nor 20 means 2,500. At least we are giving you something, you know so Maharashtra can also do that. They can also start or fix a base support price, maybe 1,200, 1,500, so that farmers are not selling it at 800 per quintal. Something is better than nothing, right? That's what the author is saying. Cool. Hope you again understood certain aspects. NCCF and NAFED, which is dealing from consumer side, which is dealing from farmer side. We'll solve some questions. You will remember each and everything, whatever we have just discussed. Let's solve this question now. Which of the following statement about GCC is correct? Which of the following statement about GCC? Purna has given the answer. Again, option elimination will help you. We have just discussed Gulf Cooperation Council. How can Egypt and Jordan be the member? They are not there around, Persian Gulf. And we have seen 6 countries. They were nowhere there, right? So if you eliminate third option, you get the answer A, as stated by Purna, Rishi, Rajneesh, Gajanan, and Jeevayan. Very good. MCQ 7. Now, oh my god, I love this question. This is CSAT also, GS also. See this? Awesome question. Awesome, awesome, awesome. If you are able to answer it, I'll be so proud of you. Let me see who answered it first. Good morning, Rishi. Jivayan, Shipurna, Mamta, they were all missing you. They were like, where is Rishi? We love you, Rishi. When will Rishi not be a brahmacharya? I'm so sorry for that. If a farmer earns 1,000 per quintal and the production cost is 2,500 per quintal, how much is the loss per kg? You people also have to give CSAT, right? And there were many students of mine, and there were some colleagues also, mostly students who were very good engineers and this and that, and they have failed in CSAT, bro. So this question is a classic example of CSAT plus GS. So Gajanan has answered it first. Gajanan is just an awesome guy. So much respect for Gajanan. So production cost 1,500. Loss is 1,500 per quintal. 1,500 per 100 kg. So obviously loss per kg is rupees 15 as stated by Gajanan, then Rishi, then Mamta, then Rajneesh. Very good. You people are so good. Just like a wow. Next article, page number 16. US to revoke waiver on Chabahar port sanctions. So what is this Chabahar port? What India is trying to do? So this is Chabahar port. India is developing it, maintaining it. This is actually good. There was a 10-year lease agreement which we did with Iran, because in between Trump was not there, so things were normalized to a certain extent around 2018-19 or something, because we wanted to develop. Our point was we are working for Chabahar because we want to develop Afghanistan. We want to go to Central Asia and Afghanistan bypassing Pakistan, right? So that is one point. 10-year lease agreement. Many people, they don't understand what is the basic rationale of uh, lease agreement. So here it was not like we were only giving fund for maintaining Chabahar. We had our people stationed there. We were managing that port. In a way, we had control over Chabahar. In a way, you can think of like it like this: Iran has given us the control of Chabahar for 10 years, and that is a huge thing. It's not like Hamban Tota. You will understand. Hamban Tota in Sri Lanka, which Sri Lanka has given to China. We are not making military bases there. Maybe we are, but we are not saying it officially. But this was a huge thing for us, having a control of Chabahar, monetarily, economically, and in so many different ways. Our people were there, and now because of US, we cannot do things. And I hate US so much, man. They're doing so many stupid things. So let's focus on this article, and you will understand where we are going with this. What is your view on Trump? Who loves Trump here? Who is in love with Orange Man? Shipurna, Jivayan, Gajanan. Do you people love Trump and his orange, you know, hair? Shipurna once told me that he's in love or she's in love. So US to revoke waiver on Chabahar port sanctions. So around 2018-19 or something, 2018, they gave a waiver to India that you can, in simple terms, you can do whatever you are doing in Chabahar, and we are doing it because we want to develop Afghanistan. And if you develop Chabahar, and if you go to Afghanistan via that, that will help in the development of Afghanistan. That was their stance in 2018. We were talking about flip-flop policy of India when it comes to India's onion export. Here you are seeing flip-flop policy of the US, and now they're like, no, 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 we are revoking waiver because Iran is our enemy, Fordo and all these things, Israel-Iran war, and plus Trump. So US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he said that US will revoke India's waiver of sanction within 10 days. It's seriously, man, this is an international issue. It's not like you are terminated today. No, it doesn't happen like that, but this happens like this only in Trump era. So move is part of Donald Trump maximum pressure campaign on Iran, and it's not like they're only means pressurizing Iran. Via that, they're also pressurizing us. There were talks going on, and me, sir, orange hair plus red cap. Oh my God, that's your Shipuna likes guys who has orange hair and red cap. So guys, color your hair orange. Okay, let's focus. So here you can understand there were talks going on that the tariffs which US has imposed on us, that will be gone by November 30th or something. But see what they have done now. So India plans to develop Shahid Bahesti terminal at Chabahar as an alternative trade route. UPSC has already asked a PYQ on it, why they want to develop this and that. So this is one official statement which we have given, why we want to develop Chabahar. The unofficial statement is that we also want to keep a tab on this Gwadar port. If you see this, there is a Gwadar port. which is not very far from Chabahar, which is a part of China's CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. And this thing will be coming from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and this CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. And via this, China will get an access to Arabian Sea. If you see, China do not have an access to Arabian Sea. But when the CPEC will be established, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, they will be connecting Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to Gwadar Port, Xinjiang to Gwadar Port. Via that, they will get access to Arabian Sea, which is not good for us. So there are strategic reasons also why we want to have a tab over. In his first term, I was liking, but now his decision arguments like stupid and very childish. Yes. Okay, let's focus, guys. So where were we? So again, that is another point, but that is not the unofficial stance. We will never say that we also want to keep a tab on Guada, right? But this is just for your knowledge. Ministry of External Affairs, they have not yet commented on this whole revoking of waiver thing. Trump is saying that he has signed an executive order that all the previous orders which was providing relief to Iran be terminated or modified. So that is what is happening here, and let's see how these things unfold. Not looking good for us. So again, the waiver was originally provided under IFCA, and because Afghanistan reconstruction, we wanted to develop Afghanistan and all those things, and that's why that waiver was given that you can develop Chabahar. India-Iran engagement. So we were not knowing that US is going to do that, and NSA National Security Advisor Ajit Doval sir, he was talking with Iranian counterpart, and we were like, oh my God, we have got Chabahar, so many things will happen now. But see, India spent 200 crores as well, but God knows what will happen to that thing, and the money will be wasted or what. So yes, sir, this is the current stance, and see how much pressure US has exerted on us time and time again. Just give me a second. What happened here? Yes. See, in yesterday we talked about Venezuela. If you remember, in 2017 we were not importing oil even from Venezuela. Now we are doing that. India is importing Russian oil, even though US is saying that don't do that. So there is too much pressure of US on us. People talk about multilateralism. People talk about global order and this and that. But you cannot discard the fact that US is the biggest power in the world. They have a say. Sorry, that means fortunately or unfortunately, mostly unfortunately, this is the reality. Cool. So again, India signed a 10-year lease for Chabahar in May 2024, and the new sanctions now threaten this investment. This was a huge thing for us. We have just discussed this lease thing. It was not about only giving money to them. It was about our forces being stationed there. In a way, we were controlling Chabahar. We were having a, like Iran has given us Chabahar, not exactly, but hope you can understand. This was a huge thing for us, not anymore. So that is the whole thing which you have to understand. And then they will post their friends. Exactly. Let's solve this MCQ 8 based on the previous article about onion thing, Maharashtra and the onion crisis. Which of the following statement about price stabilization fund is correct? Again, a good question. If you're getting it correct, awesome. It is used to maintain buffer stock of essential commodities. It aims to protect both farmers and consumers from price volatility. It is exclusively managed by RBI. Gajanan is given the answer. I have told you this is not managed by RBI, Department of Consumer Affairs, Ministry of Consumer Affairs. They manage it, this price stabilization fund. Prahlad Joshi or something, he is a minister, but that is none of our concern from UPSC perspective. So first and second is correct. You eliminate third, you are getting the answer A. 1 and 2 only. Very good. As stated by whom? Gajanan, Purna and Rishi. Very good. PYQ 9, asked by UPSC in 2017. So what is the importance of developing Chabahar port by India? India's trade with African countries will enormously increase. India's relation with oil producing Arab countries will be strengthened. India will not depend on Pakistan for access to Afghanistan and Central Asia. Nowadays, if post anything good and any country, something bad, they're going to do to the country. Exactly. So what is the importance of developing Chabahar, guys? What is the most plausible option? Is it about Africa? It's about Central Asia and Afghanistan. So the answer is, as stated by Shpurna and Gajanan and Rishi, India will not depend on Pakistan for access to Afghanistan and Central Asia. Next article, page 4. PM Modi to review Maritime Heritage Complex at Lothal. This is in news from last 2 years. National Maritime Heritage Complex (NMHC) that will be established at Lothal. Lothal was a port town. If you see this, Lothal was a 1900 BC. You tell me when I'm good to go. I'm so sorry, guys. Can I continue? Or is it problem still persisting? Oh my god. I'm waiting, and I'm waiting for your voice and message when you feel like I'm good to go. I think I'm